Good morning to Q. How are you? Golly gee and holy mackerel. For those of you who only depend on a few people to bring you, what they search out and find, the people that I have relied on for some time to bring the truth, to not embellish, to not put hatred in it, have been just wiped out, taken off, bam, bam, bam. In pursuit of the truth, that guy is a gentleman in every way, even when he's been covering horrible crimes. He doesn't exaggerate or beat the drums on things. He puts it forward in a way that allows me to process that information, and I just really value him. And stopping me in Australia, they knocked down about all of them. I could go on and on. And all I can say is this: what is being shared with you, I swear by, I just would, in every way that I could, share with you that this information has come through their mouths, through their actions and their deeds, the paper trails that we were able to pick up, and then once the treason was found, being able to pursue them like they had pursued us. So, for me, it's like this. I have been told by someone that I trust a lot. I don't know if you know me, I'm going to blow my own horn for a minute. Back in 1995, I left from Olympia, Washington on June 21st, carrying a 4x6 American flag at half-mast. I made it to Gresham, Oregon, exit 13. My dear friend, Richard Keaton, came and picked me up and brought me home on the 1st of July. I left on the 4th of July. My wife divorced me that day and reinstituted my march. I'd asked him for a letter. He gave me one. When he put me out on the road, he started crying. He had offered me a job on the way home from Gresham to run the Vietnam Veterans War Museum. And I prayed about it the whole time. And my God said, do you want to be a part of the museum or do you want to be a part of the solution? I knew, because my wife told me that I would be divorced, that she would divorce me, because she told me she would, and she has been very, very straightforward, in the few demands she ever put on me. Every one of them was a righteous demand. So, I guess I don't get to claim righteousness. I want to just encourage everyone right now to think for a moment. Now, who has the most to lose with the course that Trump is taking? Now, everybody'd say, oh, he's working for the billionaires and this, that, and the other. In a manner of speaking, that is true, because there is a part of what we do that is tried and true. And he is a bit of a huckster and promoter and whatnot, which, makes it hard for all of us who aren't. Sometimes he just overstates things, and he does this and he does that. By God, he's human, The sucker is human. He don't go up there like the last several presidents and act like his caca don't stink. He's walked up there and said, yeah, my caca stinks. So does yours. And what I found throughout this process from 2012 that anytime anything was brought up that challenged the Obama-Clinton narrative, and Podesta, John Podesta was putting the words in their mouth a lot of times, choosing a lot of strategies for them. And he, when you find out about him, his actions, I don't even have to embellish. He is what he is, and his family is what they are. So, I guess I'm saying this to say this. When the times get tough, the tough get going. I'm not tough, but I can tell you this. My daddy said one time, you know, you don't finish anything. And that pissed me off so bad that I have tried to be a finisher, even if it was the last second. I loved the newspaper business. I loved selling advertising because it always came to deadlines, you know. And I'd go out and I'd sell and I'd get things lined up and I'd start working on my concepts with those ads and, you know, what we was going to do for that business that would help people know what made them different, better, or otherwise it would cause them to go into their business and use them. I love that. I love that because everybody's got a story with their business because it's the American dream. And guess who's been knocked out during this epidemic? Oh. During this time of great crisis, whether contrived or otherwise. That cough was to just say that, you know what, ever since this thing happened, every sniffle I've had, every time I felt anything, I've been, oh my God, I got it. Until one day I just went, you know what? And I went to the book and I found that spot, and it took me forever. I used to know the spots better, but anyway, where it said, though 1,000 may fall to the left of me and 1,000 may fall to the right. We may be in those times. Who knows? Who knows? But this I do know. I am not a hater. I am not trying to overthrow the government from which I have grown up in. I'm 70 years old, and I have fought to have the truth brought out as soon as I was old enough. I think it's November 22nd, 1963, that I knew that I was being lied to by my government. That was the first time. President Eisenhower, my dad made me watch his speech that he made when he got out of the office about the military-industrial complex. And I have forever, ever been grateful for that. My mom, my dad, and my family never treated me like I was a dumb kid. They always shared their hopes and their thoughts and their dreams with me, and I'm very grateful for that. My big brother, who I used to just, you know, I used to just hate him. And then I got into a program, and, you know, I'd never looked at my side of the things. I had never really looked at his side of the things. I was just seeing what was happening on the ground with him. Well, we get grown up, and my God, he turned into the best man I've ever known. You know, right? And understand that there's a whole group of people, that men and women, that are the best man I've ever known. Because in my opinion, my race is the human race. And if you're a human, that's as far as I categorize you, if I can. The other things, man, you know, we all come with our quirks and our warms and fuzzies. And I'm working to have more warm and fuzzies and less quirks. At the same time, in 1989, rededicated my life and wanted to give back to my country. I had to give back to my country. And I went, and a guy named Vern Fries pulled me into taking over this community center in May of 1989, and it officially happened a little later, or a lot later, because gosh, it's a lot of work to get it straightened out to where the thing could work. And it was a 100-year-old outbuilding cottage thing that had been used as a speakeasy in the Roaring '20s, and at the end of World War II, when the troops came home, they built a big dance hall off the side of it, and it was owned by the veterans of foreign wars and the American Legion and the Kiwanis clubs. There's 2 of them, and Lions Club and a few others. But it was mostly ran by the Vern Fries Foundation, V&V. And I gave it to God right away. It was January of 1990. I had been working my heart out for months. I'd been showing up every Saturday for a working party, whether I was alone or people came. And there had been a tremendous rain, and it had blown the dike out on our little private pond. So for months, I went back and forth with the Army Corps of Engineers, Trout Unlimited, and anybody, that would talk about a thing. And the cheapest thing that came in was like $26,000. So the G.I. Joes was being... and the Costco area up there was being leveled out, and they were taking some grand and sand and gravel grade run off of it. And I went by there with my pickup, and they did a load, and I went back, and they said, "What's your deal?" And I told them, and they brought out a big semi, and the next door neighbor was out working with his backhoe, and he came over, and as they came in, he pushed it out until I laid down plastic underneath it, first of all. Then we did the dirt, and then I did a second layer of plastic, and we did the dirt, and we built it up. And with that, I also made an emergency runoff channel, a natural runoff channel that had the steps for salmon ladder, and it happened when I said, "God, I need your help." And that's when I got the inspiration to go over and ask the guy and get the gravel, and it was just bam, 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 bam. And from then on, that's the way that I did things. I just asked God, and I went and I did my best, and things just happened beautifully. There was a Thanksgiving dinner, and the lady had been doing it for years and never gotten any credit. And so I gave her all the credit on the Christmas Eve, our Christmas celebration at Brook Lake. And she did it for years till it was closed. And each year, we'd have no presents at the beginning of the day when it would start to go. And by the end of the day, we'd have 3 presents for every kid. And it even when it grew year after year, Slick Watts came out with Santa Claus one year. Oh, my. And his son was with him. And I just, man, I'll tell you, it was the most fun you could ever have, and be doing something good. So look, I guess what I'm saying is this: please be your own friend. We mess up, and I'm not saying you don't hold yourself accountable, but don't beat yourself to death with it. Take a look at it, search your heart, and give it your best shot. And your best is good enough. Your best is good enough. God bless you. Stay strong. And keep the faith. Nothing happens by accident in God's world. And your life matters, so let's make good matter, because God sent his son Jesus to say, I love you, and how to pray, our Father. Our Father. That means we have the same juice he does. Let's start seeing it. I'm looking forward to the first guy to walk on water. Hang in there. Much love. Bye-bye.